Welcome back to Laura B Gardening. I'm in Southern California in Orange County. I'm here in Zone 10A. So I wanted to do a weekly recap to show you what I've been up to in my garden. So if you've seen a couple of videos before, I think it was maybe my second to last video where I did purchase some agapanthus, and I wasn't able to plant them because I did have a injury to my finger, but days later I was able to put them in the ground, and I wanted to show you what that turned out to look like. So come look over here, and we have the little blue fountain agapanthus. So those grow from 1 foot to 2 feet tall and wide, and they're full sun. So this is the west side of my garden here. Um, this right here, if just wanted to recollect that these are my limelight hydrangeas. So these will go about 8 to 10 feet tall. And on the sandwich between these are the twilight agapanthus, and I fell in love with these. So they're bicolor, and they have the purple, the violet, and then the white tips. And sorry about the noise. These were an actual winner at Chelsea Garden Show in 2019. So that was really exciting when I did read about those. And again, I kind of made that in the front here. I added the little blue fountain, and I repeated that same planting. Oh, look at these. Oh my gosh, they're starting to open. Oh, I'm so excited. Wow. Sorry, guys, I'm just really excited. It's the first time I see that. Oh, that's amazing. So I pretty much just repeated the trio, or yeah, it's about a trio. So it's the limelight, the twilight, and the blue fountain. Here. So all 6 little venues here, and I'm just really excited how this looks. This almost kind of like a 4th of July, kind of a fireworks, really patriotic. So I'm loving the colors, and I'm loving how when you're walking down the sidewalk, it's just really a pop of color, and it's just making me really happy. So that's one project that I've been up to. And then I want to show you in the back the things that I've been up to, and I can't wait to show you what I have planned for you guys. So let's go, come on back. Welcome back, and we're at the back part of my garden. So I wanted to show you guys what I've been up to. So I finally was able to plant the honeysuckle gold flame. Remember, I got her for Mother's Day, and she's been sitting in her little container for a long time and not doing so well. So finally today I was able to do that. So I planted her, and she's kind of just sitting there, which is perfect because she has some stakes in her. And I'm still on the fence whether I put her on the fence, on the vinyl fence. I had a wonderful subscriber tell me that they do have little brackets and vinyl sticky stuff for vinyl fences. So I'm going to be looking into that, or I might just do the same trellis that I'm going to have for the little miniature roses. So I'm still on the fence with that, but we do have, look at that lavender rose of Sharon. She is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the little bee in there. So they're so pretty, all those beautiful flowers. So I planted that honeysuckle. I finally planted the Cape fuchsia rose down here. So I have 4 of them. And you probably see all the sluggo. The slugs have been going to town here because it's been so moist. We again had rain yesterday, so I've been buying a lot of sluggo. So these fuchsia, the Cape Rose, they grow about 3 feet tall by 2 feet wide, and they're part sun. So this is my little shade garden. So they will be perfect there. And then those are those 2 on that side, and on the right hand side I have these 2 here. So I think it'll be really nice to kind of just fill in this white wall once it get about 3 feet tall. So I'm thinking about right there. So that'll be perfect. Look at those. Look at those are the hydrangeas that my mom gave me this plant, I want to say a couple years ago. This is the first year that she's flowered, and she is so happy. Her flowers are so, her blooms are so vibrant, and her big, she's a big leaf hydrangea. So here she loves it because she has a lot of part sun and shade. And once this plumeria, which is above me, as you know, she started to leaf out, she'll provide a nice canopy over this area here during the summer months. So we have the hydrangea, the diamond frost. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'll have to put that on the comments there, but they are being eaten by the slugs. Slugs are having a feast. It is like, I think, a buffet for them, and I find them everywhere. I've tried everything. I've tried the beer, but beer doesn't work. I try to collect them as I go. It's been a challenge this year. And again, here we are, June. Where are we at? June 15th, and we got rain today. Who knew? So that's the thing is, these slugs are going to town on my garden. And then over here, I just took out, made the border, or actually, excuse me, the border, right? The border bigger. So I kind of extended another 12 inches, and I'm going to call this my heavenly area because I have these angel wings, and these are called the Sensias. Those are absolutely gorgeous. They grow 8 to, I think, 16 inches tall, and they're full sun or part sun, so they'll do great here. I have the Angelonians, the Archangel White right here, and then here, in fact, you can see that these are full sun. And then these grow 14 to 15 tall and wide. So grows best in full sun. So these are perfect here. I do have a dahlia coming up from last year, and I can't remember what color it is. But again, look at those slugs. They're going to town. And then I have the Laguna Sky Blue. God, these are so beautiful. The Sky Blue Lobelia, of course. Got these. These are the proven winners. So I'm really excited. Look at that color. They're so pretty. So this area here, I just wanted it to be a really cooling area, especially during the heat. So when you see just this area, it's kind of a reminiscent of water and just cool colors. So that is what I wanted for this area here. I did get some flax, and these here, let's see, I think that's this one here. Let's look at these. Look at these. These are beautiful and white, almost like a little tinge, I'm not sure, like almost green. And these are the Giselle whites. And this is the phlox. So this is full sun. They get full sun here. And these grow 10 to 15 inches tall and wide. So perfect for this spot right here. And I made that border wider, and I can't wait to plant those. I'll have to bring you back for those. So those are all going to be really nice, full, and just kind of do a cooling effect around this border. And then I did last week, if you remember, this was a Wilma Goldcrest lemon cypress, and she was in her original form. But I kind of wanted something different, so I actually started to cut her. I was really bored, and I came in here and started to form her, cut her into different, her little balls, her little spheres, her bigger sphere and her smaller sphere. And then almost at the end, I'm like, I should have filmed that for my YouTube subscribers. I really wanted you to see that. So, I kind of made a mistake there, but guess what? I have one that I want to make into a sphere. So I'm going to be bringing you along because I have a lot of subscribers that's been wanting to see how I do my topiaries. So I'm going to be doing that, and hopefully I don't mess them up. So let's go and sit down on the bistro area so we can get started on the topiary that I'm going to form. Okay, so here we are with the Gold Crest Lemon Cypress, and wanted to show you how she's in her original form. I did purchase these at Home Depot about, I want to say, a couple years ago, and they were about this tiny, so they were really small. And then my dream was to get them in shapes that I love. So I've been doing that. I got the spiral. I'm not sure if you could see the spiral on one side, but I got the spiral over to your right, my left, and all the way at the end of the bistro, I have the double spheres. So it's like the little one or the one that I just did. So we'll show you at the end the ones that I have designed. And then I usually do, because these are in pots, I usually will kind of cover this on the bottom, so all the branches and all the fine little ferns on it, or the fine brushes don't go in the actual rocks. So this is how I start. We have our main trunk, which is, I don't know if you guys could see it. It's right there. So I'm going to just kind of look in the middle. So what you want to do when you get ready to design your topiary, and don't be afraid. If you cut too much, it's going to grow back. Trust me from experience where I overdid it and actually it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. So don't be afraid to cut too much back because they will grow back. It's like, I guess like a bad haircut. So as you notice, I don't know if you could see, we have the main trunk right in the middle here. And because I want to make her just one spear, so I want to make her right here, I'm going to bring this canopy up and I'm going to just cut her off right here. And then I'm going to form her. I'm going to look at all the different branches and see which ones need to come off and which ones need to be trimmed back. So, okay, here we go. So here's my my Felcos. And I am thinking that we go, let me think. I'm thinking about right there. So I am going to try, I don't know if you could see that, her trunk there. Okay, this is it. Da-dun. Ah! I'm sorry, baby. Okay, so there we go. And I do that all the time because I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So now you see all these bigger branches. We're just going to cut those. So you're kind of like doing a bowl haircut. Okay, so it's almost like sticking a bowl on top and start forming her. Okay, so I want to see where we're at here. So you know what I need for this? I just thought of it. I need an actual lazy Susan. A lazy Susan would be perfect when you are trimming your topiaries or anything else that's really tabletop, that you're able to turn them and not having to, well, physically turn them, but it's okay. It's all the same. Now here's where I start to come down here and start cutting these little branches off, all these right here. And you'll have to step back and look from afar to see where you're missing or where branches need to come off. So I'm going to show you this. I'm rotating this one here. So this one here, I'm going to take off. We'll keep taking them off because we're bringing up the canopy for that spear right up here. So I want maybe another inch above the actual soil. So like this little branch here. Yep. You see if you pull her back, you see how we just brought up the canopy? So let me cut that right there. And we got that big, thick branch. So let me look at that. So we're going to cut that big branch. Well, let me look at it actually, because she's going pretty far up. So I am, and there's times where you're going to have to just take an educated guess to see that you don't cut a main branch that has a lot of the foliage on it. So let me see here. Okay, look, so I don't know if you're able to see this. So this is a pretty big branch. Yet if I cut it, it's not a really bad bald spot. You're able still to see some of the greenery. So that's what we want because you're going to be forming a ball, okay, a sphere. So it's not going to look perfect the first time, but you're going to be working on it little by little. So it's definitely a lot of patience here. So let me go take this one off. There we go. You see how that just opened it up a little bit more? So we'll take all the smaller guys off. And so that's what we're wanting to do. Okay, so I see a really big branch here. It's a really thick one. And I'm just going to pull her ever so gently so I could see what the underside looks like. Okay, I think I could work with that. You guys see that? Right there. So it doesn't form a big bald spot, so that's perfect. I'm able to take off that branch. So I'm sure everybody has their own techniques of how to cut it. This is what's worked best for me, and it's actually very therapeutic. I really enjoy coming out here, and I could be out here for hours. That sometimes I need to put my glasses because my eyes get so strained that I just love just keep cutting and making sure it has a good haircut and that there's no loose strays or any wonky branches like this one. You see that? We don't want that one. So we're going to cut that one down too. Okay, and then all these little growths that are on the side growing out of the trunk, you could pull them, or you could use the little needle nose pruners. So we just kind of clean that up. And let me clean that up. There you go. And this one too. And this one. Okay, do you see how we just raised the canopy up by another inch? And do you see this big old, this piece of the little stub there? I'm just gonna cut him a little further down. Okay. Let me see. Think I'm bringing it up a little bit more, just a little bit more. So I'm gonna turn her so you could see what I'm doing. So it's really funny. Every time that I am filming, it never happens. It never like fails. That every time I'm filming, my dogs act up. It's like they want to be on TV. And when my daughter and I are watching the video, or making sure that I'm not saying silly things, my dog Blue gets really excited and he starts to bark and he's wagging his tail and he gets really excited to see himself on TV. I think that's really cute and sweet. So now you see this branch growing to the side here, and could you guys see that? Perfect. I'm going to cut that right there. There we go, because that one's going straight up, and that's what we want. We want those branches going up. We don't want branches to the side. So, okay. So so now here I'm going to kind of tilt her a little bit. I cut the main trunk pretty low. So I think it's another maybe 3 inches. I don't know if you could see it. Do you see it down there? So I cut her pretty low. So it gives me this canopy to cut back and start forming that sphere, the little ball. So it's just one ball that I want. This is my inspiration. This right here. And I love anything that is topiary, anything that is green, anything that is just that beautiful design. And when you get these at the store, you guys, they're really expensive. So I was at the local garden center. I'm not going to name where, but it was $60 for a topiary. And I was like, oh my gosh, mine cost like $11 for just the actual, plant, and then my work, right? So it was like $11. Not bad. Hmm? And a pot. Okay, and a pot and soil and gravel, because I always like to add really fine kind of little rocks. So, okay, so you're going to see me cutting some more because it is a lot of patience and you need to always stand back, look at it, see where you could cut more. And that's what I'm going to start doing. And don't be afraid. Like I said, it's going to grow back. You'll be fine. And it's not going to look perfect. But you just come out every once in a while. Make sure when you do cutting back that you do not leave them in the sun, because they will burn and then they'll really suffer. So you want to make sure that they are nicely shaded, because you are now cutting their main branches, right? So they're going to get sunburn and they'll burn, and then that's not a good look, and then you're going to be really sad. So make sure you keep them covered and in the shade, so they have time to rebound from the haircut and time to stay green. Okay, so there's another branch. We're going to cut that one back. It's so addicting. I love it, because it's honestly like a work of art. It really is, because it's so meticulous and it's so rewarding. And yes, I have made a couple of mistakes. Like I told you, the spiral one there, I cut a little too much, but look, she's doing fine. So it just takes a little time and a lot of patience. And she's still too tall, so I'm just going to keep cutting and cutting. You know, when you get your hair cut, it takes a long time, right? So that's why it's going to take us a little while to get to where we want to be. So this is a perfect day for me to cut back my topiaries because it's been so gloomy. And then that June gloom, there's been no sun. So it's been perfect. I don't scorch the plant. I love it. Because usually I have to put something over them, like a little thin dish towel or something, just so their leaves don't scorch. Or their branches, I should say. Okay. I'm not sure. I don't think I'll cut that one back. Right now I'm using a needle nose pruner. So that's easier to get into those little branches. And easier to cut. Some of these little branches are in tight spots. So with the Felcos, I'm not able to get in there. So I'm just able to use the little needle nose pruners. I love these. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I was a little nervous because I've never done this on TV. Usually I'm just like, oh, no one's going to watch me if I mess up. No one's going to care except for me, so it's all good. It'll be fine. Okay, I still think I'm going to step back to look at it. She's still too long. I'm going to take that one off. Oh, I think I'm going to have to take this one off. Now, here's where I get a little nervous because I see a main branch, and this one's, it's not a main branch, excuse me, but it's a secondary important branch. But I think if I cut this one, that's the shape I'm kind of seeing. Do you guys see that? If we look, so that's with it. This is without it. Doesn't that look better? Okay, so here we go, guys. Okay, there we go. Just cut that right there. Okay, we're gonna be okay. Gonna be okay. Okay, guys, so what do you think? So it's definitely a process, but as you see that the more you start to cut, the more branches, the little branches you see that if you move the branches, kind of like separate them, you're able to actually see the form. So I still need a little bit more work, but I'm actually really happy how she turned out. I'm thinking in about a month and a half, she's going to be a nice full little lollipop. So I am actually pretty pleased. Of course, I will always keep coming back out because I love when I'm sitting out here to have a pair of shears or pruners. And I always like to make sure that I trim her just like I've trimmed the other two on either side that flank the bistro area. So I think I'm actually pretty happy. I'm going to set that aside. Well, I don't think I could drink my tea anymore because I got some clippings in there and I didn't even realize it. So let's see. So we got this all out. So it didn't make that much of a mess. Do you think she resembles? What do you think? That was my inspiration. So you will see, like, I will always be like just shaping her just a little bit as I'm sitting, and I'm able to see different branches that could be cut back. But overall, I'm actually really pleased. And like I said, don't be afraid. Just, it's a you find them at Home Depot, get them at Home Depot. It's a very small investment to just get creative. Um, if you cut it, it'll grow back. And maybe you can form a different topiary, a different style, or a different design. So don't be afraid to try something new if this is what you like. But this is my hobby. This is my Zen. Like people like the Zen sand and the Zen stones. I love just coming out and sitting out here and just cut, 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 look, cut, cut. And then I just love it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for honestly being with me on this long journey of this topiary, but I think she's getting there and she's almost there. I'm really pleased. And I hope you have a wonderful day. May God bless you. And we'll see you again, friends. Bye.